in. Okay. Go ahead. Please introduce yourself.
So I'm Demetri Patitsas. I'm a young entrepreneur. Started this whole tradition of venture startup, working with small teams, connecting businesses and people and networks and resources, really all my life. But I think the most significant moment when I was about 18, I founded a mobile ice cream business, complete with black bow tie, white uniform, and that was really the igniting moment, looking back now, that's led to dance companies, a nonprofit that helps Christian communities, a group that takes young university students and graduates all over the world, and a couple other things in real estate and property development in some different countries. So this all started young, and I really consider myself, outside of being American, Greek, a twin, and having some ambition and excitement in myself, an entrepreneur at heart. So that's why I'm here.
So your primary business, if I understand correctly today, it's evolved over the last couple of years, is Exela Ventures. Tell us a little bit, what's the mission or purpose of Exela Ventures?
Well, Exela Ventures, you know, a lot of times when people ask me, what do, what I've come to realize is that Exela Ventures is really an embodiment of my four fundamental passions. The first, travel. The second, entrepreneurship, business startup. The third is that personal growth and education piece that only mentorship and challenging environments helps accelerate and brings out in a person. And then the fourth is just kind of the glue that connects it all together. And you know, that really is the relationship building that I so very much enjoy. And so between those four elements, we create Exela Ventures, a company that organizes and leads educational programs and expeditions to Guatemala.
Now, how do you stand out? There are a lot of companies that will package together tours for student groups in particular, but other groups as well. You know, why does Exela Ventures stand out versus lots of competition? I mean, any of us can actually go to Expedia.com or Kayak.com and book a quote-unquote vacation based on a budget.
No, it's a great point. You know, what makes Exela Ventures different? Yeah, if I could sum it up, I think there are three things. The first and foremost is, you know, anyone can travel buying tickets on Expedia. Anyone can just show up at a resort. Anyone can get a rental car and just drive around in circles. But what Exela Ventures does is it cuts through all the gray, and we find those pearls of people, of places, of profit, even in the case of ventures, and we try to accelerate that connection, the authenticity, that we're not just going to Guatemala to try coffee, but we're taking you to some of the most advanced, high shade-grown coffee growers in the country, and we're meeting them, and we're introducing you to them, and we're having coffee together, and then we go take you on a tour, and you get a real hands-on, behind the scenes appreciation for what they're all about. And so it's the authenticity of it all.
Now, where do you see Exela going? It's so far, it's from what I understand, a relatively small business that maybe runs half a dozen or so trips a year of varying lengths. Do you see it becoming something that broadens beyond its base in Guatemala? Do you see it leading to other kinds of ventures? If so, what kind?
Yeah, I think at this moment, if Exela Ventures, if we could jump 10 years from now, Exela Ventures would have an Exela Ventures Innovation Institute headquartered in Guatemala, where we have groups coming down regularly who are participating in either supporting existing businesses or trying to create their own, or second, a program where people are coming down and they're learning about history and language and education and all these different components, and it's a very regular kind of curriculum. So in terms of the vision for Exela Ventures, could we duplicate this in other countries? I think we begin with Central America, and then as product and connections began to develop, we branch out in other countries. For instance, currently I work in 6 different ones. I'm in Egypt, Israel, Greece, Canada, and the U.S., outside of Guatemala. And so my suspicion is, as we build relationships and trust in places, we'll find that this very same model can be used in other places as well.
Now, you alluded to this earlier, but one of your also commitments in life is a Greek Orthodox-based nonprofit called St. Paul's Fellowship of Labor that you and your twin brother founded in 2005. part of my understanding is that you use that vehicle to bring a mix of people, not just Greek Orthodox folks, but other folks as well, to different locations around the world to help support the Greek Orthodox faith and those that are leading that faith. Can you explain a little bit more about St. Paul's Fellowship of Labor?
Well, St. Paul's Fellowship is a nonprofit, a 501c3 in the state of Pennsylvania, but whose primary focus is to help support the distressed Orthodox Christian communities throughout the world. And we currently organize 10 annual trips in 6 different countries. On top of all that, we also run a series of charity trips to the Holy Land, for instance, in Israel and Egypt, where funds are raised that then go to support some of these other connections I have in other countries like Guatemala, the Asturias Academy. In fact, we had one where we were given $8,000 donation afterwards, so that was fairly significant. So there's some real things happening and some cross-pollination occurring between different ventures. But St. Paul's Fellowship, we take young people looking for a travel experience that kind of serves all parts of the human body, the mind, the soul, the body, the heart, and they participate in labor, they participate in liturgical services, they participate in the fellowship and the social component, and then of course there's the obvious sunlight and vitamin D, everything else that comes along with it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Demetri.
Sure.